Okay, good morning 9G4 and welcome to your first tutorial. It's going to be a tutorial on angles. Okay, we're going to start out by looking at different types of angles and measuring angles. I've got four types of angles that we've drawn on the paper here. I'm going to talk you through what they are. Okay, firstly, this type of angle is an angle that is less than 90 degrees. Okay, we call that an acute angle. Our second type of angle is exactly 90 degrees. Measure it with the protractor, that's 90 degrees. That's a right angle. And we get two of those where one line meets another line at right angles, and we say that those two lines are perpendicular. Our next type of angle, this is more than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. That is an obtuse angle. And our final type of angle is more than 180 degrees. It's an angle that comes back on itself. It's a reflex angle. Easy way to remember that. It looks a little bit like a knee. It bends back on itself. Oh, kick the table there. Looks a little bit like a knee, bends back on itself. And back in the old days, you'd get the doctor hitting you on the knee with a hammer, and that was to test your reflexes, hence reflex angle. Okay, our other type of angle, in fact, before we do that, a little bit of practice measuring angles. Okay, you're going to be doing a little bit of measuring angles today. Really clear on how you do this. Okay, so I'm going to measure this acute angle. Important thing that I'm going to do is this line across the bottom of the protractor. I'll line it up with the bottom of the angle. Have a look at where the other leg of the angle is. That's there. I need to count round starting at 0. So I'm just going to take my finger out of the way. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. It's just less than 40 degrees. That angle is about 39 degrees. 39 degrees. So. And there's one special case when measuring angles. When we're measuring a reflex angle, we need to be a little bit careful about what we're doing. Two ways that we can measure the angle. We can continue the angle with a straight line. That's a straight line, so that part is 180 degrees. And if we measure this part, starts at 0, goes all the way around, just a little bit more than 120 degrees, about 122 degrees. So 180 plus 122 is 302 degrees. The other way we can measure it is we're going to measure this part that isn't in the reflex angle. And that's starting at 0 on this scale. Measure around just less than 60, it's about 58 degrees. 360 take away 58 is 302 degrees, and that's the same answer again. Okay, and for this first part of the tutorial, the last bit we're going to talk about is the angle on a straight line. A straight line, if I put the protractor on there, and we start at 0 and go all the way around, we end up at 180. Start at 0, go all the way around this way, we end up at 180 there. The angle on a straight line is 180 degrees. So when we're asked to find a missing angle on a straight line, like this, I'm going to call that angle A. When we want to find a missing angle on a straight line, we need to take the angle that we've already got away from 180 degrees. So we've already got 80 degrees 180 degrees minus 80 equals 100 degrees. So that missing angle there would be 100 degrees. You might have a case where you've got more than one angle marked, so you need to add together all of the angles you've got, take that away from 180 degrees, and that'll give you your missing angle. Okay, you can now start some work, and you can work on page 114, questions 1 to 4. Okay, moving on to the second part of your video tutorial for this morning. Angles around a point. Okay, the angles around a point, the angles in a full turn. Equals 360 degrees. We talk about doing a 360 degrees being a full turn, and it's the total angle around a point. It's the angle in a circle, angle in a full turn, angle around a point. So if we need to find a missing angle, like this angle here, we'll call this one B this time. So we're going to find angle B by adding together all of the other angles we've got and then taking that away from 360 degrees. So let's do that now. We've got 75, we've got 60, we've got 45, we've got 75. So 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. So 5 there, carry the 1. 7 plus 6 is 13. Plus 4 is 17. Plus another 7 is 24. We've got the 1 that we've carried, so that makes 25. Okay, so we have 255 is the sum of all those angles. To find the missing angle B, we need to take that away from 360. So 360 minus 255. 0 minus 5 we can't do, so we need to borrow 1 from there. 10 minus 5 we can do. 5 minus 5 is nothing. 3 minus 2 is 1. We've got an answer of 105. So angle B is 105 degrees. Really simple, I'm sure we can all do that. I would now like you to work on page 116, questions 1 to 3. Okay, and this is the final part of your video tutorial for today. Angles in a triangle. We already know that angles in a triangle equal 180 degrees. So if we need to find a missing angle in a triangle, we're going to use a similar method to what we've done before. So I'm going to call that angle C. And we're going to add together the angles that we already know, take them away from 180, and that'll give us our missing angle. So 80 plus 50 is 130. 180, take away 130, is 50. So our missing angle is 50 degrees. Take care where you see this symbol, that little square in the corner there, means that that's a right angle, which is 90 degrees. You can work these out that one in exactly the same way, once we remember that fact. 50 plus 90 is not that. 50 plus 90 is 140. 180, take away 140 is 40 degrees. So that angle would be 40 degrees. And we've got one more special case here, where you see a triangle with these marks on two of the sides. That means that these sides are the same length. It also means that these angles will be the same. So that angle's 70 degrees, it means this angle's also 70 degrees. And that angle there, if we work it out, it's going to be 40 degrees. Okay, that one there is a right angle triangle. And this one here is an isosceles triangle. Two special cases there when finding missing angles in a triangle. Okay, you can now go on to work on page 114, 118 questions 1 to 4. And then when you've finished all of this, you can work on page 122. There's a review. That's questions 1 to 3. Thank you.